Alright, you guys. Double check, make sure that this is live. It says live.
Artificial waterway.
No. There we go. And we are live. Beautiful. Alright. Okay. So today I'm going to be going over some stuff. What we'll do is I'll just go ahead and go over the cards that we're going over. First up, we've got this Scyther. Nothing too special about it. I'm going to be doing a hollow refresh on it, hopefully getting out all those scratches that you can see currently. And then I'm also going to be cleaning up the back of it. There's a few spots around that Pokeball and on the Pokemon logo itself. Yeah, the next card we have is this Jungle Nidoqueen. Again, another hollow refresh. You can see all those scratches all around her. The next thing that we have is this one I might spend a little time on, and if I can't get it done quick, I will move on from it, but that is a ink stain, and I'll be doing my best to get rid of that. This may take a few passes, so if I wind up spending too much time on this, I'll definitely have to move on. Up next, we have the Dark Vileplume, and as you can see from there, there's a lot going on with this one. So first up, of course, we're going to have to refresh this hollow. I'm not too hopeful to get out those darker, or the more scratched up spots towards the top, but I do think I can reduce that, and at the very least remove most of the scratches. The next big thing is this right here. Looks to be another ink spot or some sort of pigment that was added onto it. I do plan on removing that as well. That one looks to be a little easier. It looks kind of like crayon, so I should be able to get that done. And last but not least, we have the big man himself. We've got Venusaur, Japanese Venusaur. The hollow on this one is honestly pretty solid. So today we'll be focusing on the back of this one, and it'll be this little bitty spot right there on the edge. It's hard to make it out in this shot, but the edge is folding up, and I plan on tapping that out. Gonna do my best to flatten it out and see how it goes. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, how's it going, y'all? I am going to be starting up some stuff here real quick, try and see if I can get it. Yeah, been working on that one, trying to get the timing down a little better. But it's ready again. We're going to be, like I showed you, going over these four. I've got all my equipment set up already, so I hope to just jump into this and not waste any time. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into that wide angle. So, I'll show you all what I'm going to be using today. Just some regular old cotton swabs, some foam applicators. I've got to use the Kurtz, of course. This stuff is the bomb. And then I got some recovery. This stuff has been working wonders. If you follow my Instagram, you're well aware of what's going on with that. I've been able to turn around and really just knock out some of those stubborn hollows that I've been working on lately. And then, of course, the classic correct and clean, as well as light polish. And then I've got an assortment of microfibers that I'll be using in and out throughout the process. So let's go ahead and y'all can have that code card, I guess. That was my test subject to get everything lined up. So there we are. Let's go ahead and just move that in a little more. Alright, so first things first, let's get the Scyther out. And there we are. Carefully remove that. And then place you down there. Okay, so right here, it's hard to see it on camera, but there is a little bit of just gunk to clean up here as well, but the primary focus is going to be in this corner right here. There's definitely some spots that I can work on, and then also going to be knocking out this hollow. First and foremost, I will be cleaning the card. Do make sure you clean your cards if you're going to try and do a hollow recovery on them. I will be right back. I do hear my baby crying. She may need her Orajel. She's teething. So give me a couple seconds. Alright, I am back. Let's go ahead and get started on this. The way I've been doing it lately is I will take this cotton applicator, lightly spray it with the Kurtz, and then go in and attack those spots. Let's see if I can get them on camera for you guys real quick. Actually, I know where I can go to get these. Let's go ahead and throw this down here and switch over to the microscope. Alright, so in the microscope shot you can see there's all this dirt here and here, and then there's the scyther. I'm gonna try and focus in on this corner over here if I can get to it. Yeah, there we go. So we'll be working on getting rid of that stuff as well. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get back to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Okay, 2 light sprays. I like to fold it in 4, just kind of give me something to hold. It gives a direct point, so I'm not just hiding everything with the pad. I can actually see where I'm going with this. Also, again, I don't like to use gloves. I feel like I just lose my ability to actually feel what's going on. So let's go ahead and get this going. Yeah, last week I missed my Monday live. I was a little bit caught up from the weekend, and then I had another random project come up. A buddy of mine asked me to help him with his website, so I jumped in and jumped all over that real quick, helped him get that up and running. It's the same guy who was gracious enough to let me work on his set, so couldn't really say no. Let's go ahead and get that. Try not to apply too much pressure, and I also try not to focus on one spot too heavily. I want to make sure that I'm not dampening the card. Oh, that came off nice and easy. Alright, let's see. This one spot is a little stubborn, but it should come off relatively easy. If y'all have been following my Instagram, I have done a few of these already, where I go in and just lightly clean up any of the dirt and grime that is stuck to the card. I do believe that there's a little bit of ethics to this. I'm not going to go out there and just add anything to the card. I only want to get the card to a good standing. It's like if you were going to sell your car, you wouldn't want it to be dirty. You'd want it to have a good wax coat on the outside, make the paint look as good as it can. take care of your stuff. That's all. Get it as good as you possibly can. But I will not, absolutely will not add any ink or do anything of the sort. It honestly greatly diminishes the product in my mind. Even if it is for your own personal set, I don't think adding ink to cards to correct mistakes or fix any problems that may be going on is, personally, I don't think it's ethical. Anyway, gonna get off my soapbox now. Gonna move on to the back side of the card. I should show y'all. Yeah, really quick. Let's go ahead and jump into that camera. Where are you? What's the O? Trying to get to the M. There we are. That's the spot I'm going to be attacking. Focus in a little more. Beautiful. Yeah, you can tell it's some dirt. It's just over everything. Sitting on top of the print lines. That's how you can usually tell if it's dirt or a mistake. If there's print lines around it and through it, then it is part of the card and an error. And if there's not, then it's either missing paint or something was added on top. There we are. That little spot on the Pokeball right there I'm going to get as well. Alright. Let's go ahead and jump back to our other camera. Okay. Now, because of my setup, I can't see if anybody's in and viewing. Let me fix that actually. Boom, there we go. Well, so be it. There may be no one here, but I'm going to keep talking. Just curious if anybody watches this post and wants to see anything or wants to know anything about what's going on. I'm curious about you as well. What's your favorite Pokemon? And if you do collect, when did you start collecting? And if you feel so led, maybe hit me with an ethical debate in the comments and tell me how I'm stupid. Or, because that's always fun. You can always tell me how you feel about card restorations. I'm always willing to hear what others have to say. I will be completely upfront. I don't particularly think anything is going to change my mind on actually doing this. Not in like a stubborn way, more in like I'm just pretty confident on my stance on this thing. I'm not doing anything to add to the card. I just want to make this card the best it can be, without changing it too much, if possible. I need to check that under a microscope. There's a little spot that I'm attacking right now. Hard to tell. It's right there on the swirl. So let's go ahead and switch back to that. Where are you? There you are. Well, that's definitely dirt. Alright, I'm going to keep taking my time with it. Let's go. Alright. Adjust my pad. Shoot, I'll answer questions about setup, what I'm doing here, why I'm doing it. Right now, I'm not doing anything for commission. This is all for the love of the game. This is actually something I'm doing for a friend. He's said this on the last stream. He's starting up his a business and he's really trying to push to get a location, and he's trying to get some stuff put down so he can have good location set up for what he's doing. And I'm trying to help him out. Trying to get his cards into a good standing so that way he can get as much money as he can possibly get out of these. Now I probably will be selling these myself. Even though my buddy has been collecting for a while, he doesn't really do the whole show scene. So I'll definitely be going to a show to take these there and see what I can get for him. I may need to reapply some of the card spray. It's slowly coming up, but definitely moving slow. So I over applied a little bit. It's hard to tell on camera, but what you can do is if you're on one of these foam pads, just dab off to the side, and the foam pad will take up a good bit of that moisture. And just make sure you didn't pick up any physical particles. Move on. Okay. Well, we are almost there, folks. We are almost there. It's looking good. Ah, beautiful. That was the trick. Alright. Get that spot. I'm just now seeing that. Let's go. Alright, come on. I do like to work on these pads, these foam pads. They're non-abrasive. I can put a little bit of pressure on them and not have to worry about denting the card since there's a little bit of flex. So I can hold it down, secure it relatively well. That being said, I'm not applying a crazy amount of pressure. Alright. Now that the cleaning is done, let's go and double check and make sure I got all my spots cleaned up. Really want to make sure the hollow is debris free. So I'm going to take this guy and just do a couple light passes to pick up any lint. Alright. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to this. And the sequence in which I'm going here is going to be the way that I do every one of these cards, except for probably the Venusaur. The Venusaur, I don't think it's going to need the hollow refresh. Hey, what are you doing there, little guy? Let's get you off. There we go. Yeah, I don't think it'll need the hollow refresh on that. So I'm not going to have to go through any buffing or anything like that with that card. But for these, we'll get started. So I apply to the foam applicator and then use the tip to just lightly press and get all that goodness going on there. You want to make sure that you're not working on a dry surface. If you have any like dust or anything that falls in between this, there's a very, very small chance, but there's still a chance that it can apply scratches in your buff swirls. I've had that happen once, and it made me have to rework the card again. That was, you live, you learn. So I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to go over this, making the same circular motion. I know if I can keep my hand steady, that'd be great. There we go. So yeah, going back and forth, and then side to side, giving me about 4 passes. With this, and then I turn it over to the dry side, after waiting a few seconds to let this cream just sit in and dry up. I am working on a new video explaining how I went through and did crease not removal, but crease reduction on an Inte, on that 2000s promo entry, or Inte. It took me about a week, maybe a little longer, to get all of it reduced. There was some stuff I did forget to record in the in the video. It's mostly because I just didn't have a way to actually record myself doing it. It was setting up or working with my clay tools to just lightly indent around and make the card a little more malleable. But yeah, that should be coming out sometime soon, sometime within the week. It'll be on both this and my Instagram, so be on the lookout. So the reason I go through and do the dry applicator on the other side is a similar principle to buffing and waxing your car. You want to apply the product appropriately first, and then let it dry up just a little bit, and do your best to buff it in, so that way it smooths out your surface. I'm doing the same pattern, that's fine. I was supposed to go in the opposite direction with the swirls, but I guess I can do that now. Some cards won't even require the recovery. After this stage, they're pretty much done. Although this one, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to require the recovery step, but that is okay. And in case you can't tell, I'm a big fan of Kurt and everything he does. I've been on a couple of his live streams, finally worked up the courage to ask him about some of the stuff that he's doing and ask him for help with some stuff. And he was nice enough to reach back out to me and tell me, like, hey, I like this, I like that, try and do this, try and do that. And yeah, it was honestly pretty cool. Did not expect him to do that. So now I'm going to go with this guy. It's microfiber. Light pressure, soft swirls, really spread. Nice cream thin. Check it, make sure most of it is worked out. Probably go with one more light pass with the microfiber to really get all of it off. But that looks done for that pass. Yeah, I think I'm ready to move on. Alright, perfect. Going to the recovery. Oh yeah, also, this, trash. All this, trash. Don't reuse those. Get fresh ones. That's plenty. Alright. The recovery you can apply directly to the card if you want, since it comes in that nice little applicator. This little guy. But you can also just put it straight to here. Then, like before, what you're going to want to do is just make sure this stuff gets spread out nice and even. Now this stuff, you can let it sit as well. But you want to do it at the beginning. In the in-between stage, it becomes a little watery. It can be a little runny and hard to deal with. Now this one, you want to be very careful. This product is amazing, but it is also a little tricky. You do not want to get this on the papery parts. A little bit is fine, but don't work it into anything too deep over here. On one of my practice cards, I did pull up ink completely from it. So I would say if you're going to try that, be very, very liberal. I don't recommend it, but if you're going to do it anyway, take your time and do not put pressure. Like, you don't have to apply pressure with this stuff at all. It works all its own. Just the swirls is all you need. I am going to move a little faster with this. Don't want to overwork it. Finish up the passes. Okay. Go ahead and continue. Almost done. Come on. Work hand. Okay, turn it over. Make sure there's no little flecks. If there's a little shiny flecks, then you should probably stop. It means that your hollow pattern is pulling up, and a little bit of the ink around your hollow is also starting to pull up. If that's the case, you need to stop, give the card some breathing space, and go back. Okay. Counterclockwise circles need help. So rough, but I'm making it. I think that's plenty good. I'll go ahead and toss this. So this is the innermost corner. I'm going to take the outermost corners on this side. And just, again, lightly buff this out. Okay. Alright. Going to just lightly clean the surface of the card. Okay. Finishing cloth. And we are done. So let's see. I'm going to go back and see. Let's try and get this up and close. It's able to buff out the hollow a good bit. Definitely brought it back. Let's see now. Oh, if I can get it in frame, that'd be great. There we go. Work with me, autofocus. Turn that light up. There we go. Looking pretty good. Alright. Now I'm going to throw it under the microscope. And take a look at those spots that I had to clean earlier. So, top is clean. No spots up there. Side is clean. That corner brought up a lot. I could definitely go back with a couple more passes on this bottom part. Turn it over. Look at that. M. It's looking tons better. Alright. Let's give you all a quick reference. So that was what we were looking at before. I'll get that side profile later. Yeah, from this it's definitely looking a lot better. Okay. Let's go ahead and see. Yep. Oh yeah. Big difference. All right. There we are. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. Put this one away. Wow, I don't think I'm going to get to any of the other cards except for the Nido Queen, which I guess that's okay. Show you my work area. It's a bit of a mess right now. There we are. All put away. Okay. Put that up to the top. To the side. Grab the next one. And next we have Nido Queen. Let's go ahead and get that one out. And then a quick refresher on that one. Put you down real quick. Do a zoom in. Alright. That's what it looked like before. You can see some of that hollow scratch. Let's see, the next one. Yeah, this one had some pretty rough looking hollow scratches. Most of it should come out, but there's a couple near where the field ends that I'm a little hesitant about. And then we've got that. I think that's going to take up most of my time tonight. But that is okay. I'm going to try our best. Alright. I'm all set up on this side. Let's go ahead and get to cleaning. Hold that look here. Alright. There's a few little dirt spots here and there. But the main thing I'll show you on the microscope is on the back. It's going to be the focus of this cleaning today. It's going to be that spot on the back, which I may just go ahead and jump over to that first. Tap this side out real quick. It's not a lot. Alright, first pass is done. Let's go ahead and jump over and see. That's the ink spot. Move that to there. Alright. Yeah, that's in there pretty good. That's going to be tough to get out. I'll do my best. Stop short of ruining the card. I may have to come back to this one a couple days over. Let the card rest. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab that off of there. Put you back in the frame. There we go. First, we start off with the cleaning. Do a little bit of a focus clean on here. Seems to be lightening it up a little bit. I think I'm going to have to go to the cream though. It's going to take a few light passes with that cream to get everything off. Luckily, it's the only real dirty spot on the back. Okay, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Get a good little clean. Alright, let's take the applicator. Now this one will only be used for this back side. Do not want to take anything from the back over here and move that forward to the hollow. So apply it. Let this sit for just a little bit. Don't want it to sit too long. Probably gonna have to put this across the whole card, because this will bring out a little bit of the color and take out a little bit of the fade that's going on in here. So you just want to make sure that you get the whole card covered. That you're not just focusing on one spot when it comes to paper application. You got to be really careful with this, because it's very, very easy to apply this, and it does alterations It's not the name of the game here. You want to be as uninvasive as possible. Okay. It's definitely lightening up the color. I will have to come back a couple days after this. This is no good. Alright. Let's get this card cleaned up really quick. Get back in frame. Okay. Make sure to get it all nice and clean. Alright, throw that in the microscope so y'all can see what's going on. It's a big difference from before, but it's still there. Definitely gonna have to revisit this a few times. Started to notice just a little bit of bleed showing up. It's nothing that won't come out, but I definitely gotta be careful with applications. These vintage cards will take on moisture and any sort of oils or anything that come in contact with it. So you need to be extra careful whenever you're cleaning vintage. If this were a modern card, it would be so much easier. There would be a lot less trouble involved with that. But that aside, let's go ahead and move that center. Get rid of these guys. Start working on this hollow. If you do this yourself and you notice that the card color is starting to change in like a splotchy pattern, it's usually moisture absorption. So try saying that 10 times fast. And your best bet there is to bail, come back later, work the card again, and just take your time. There's no rush in any of this. You want to make sure that you're just taking your time to respect the card, respect the material that you're working with. The reason it doesn't end up like that on this side is the hollow pattern is like a protective plastic layer that gets printed on top of for pretty much all cards. So what you're seeing whenever you see a hollow pattern isn't a top layer, it's a bottom layer. And it's a real easy way to spot a fake too. A lot of people don't have the ability to print on top of hollow paper, so oftentimes they will take like a translucent plastic sheet and put it over a fake printed card to get the right pattern. Those are the cheap fakes, but those are the most widely available as well. So you gotta just be aware, know what's going on around you, learn how to spot fakes. It's not the only way. There's also the layer trick. You can look at the sides of any Pokemon card and see that there's it's technically 3 distinct layers. There's the 2 paper layers, and then there is the inner, like, also paper layer, but it's like a black color. Yeah, so you can usually tell what the real cards are versus the fake cards. dry buff this one a little more. I may wind up revisiting these tomorrow. I tend to go a couple of rounds on these guys. At least with this stuff. This stuff I'll go a couple of rounds with. Maybe 3 at most. But the recovery, you've got to be really sparing with. Again, it's really powerful stuff. So you don't want to overwork your cards. You don't want to peel up hollows, remove ink when it shouldn't be removed. Anyway. Yeah, this is already coming back to life, y'all. Beautiful. Go 2 more passes. Call this done on this. Okay. It's looking good, y'all. And in case that it isn't abundantly obvious, I am from the south, southern part of the United States, specifically Texas, and I won't say things like y'all, and apparently I draw out my speech a little bit, so bear with me if I sound a little tired. I'm not. It's just how I talk. Let's see, get a little better clean on that. Bring this up to the light for myself. Alright, ready for the next step. Oh yeah, do not, like, you can use the other stuff on the paper part, be very careful with it, but do not use this. Do not use this on any of the paper stuff. This stuff, be careful, be sparing, be aware. Do not use this. Do not use this on paper. I've ruined a card like that. I was devastated. To be fair, it was just a practice card, but I was feeling really good about myself that day until I did that. It's always good to be humbled, I guess. Alright. Check the applicator. Cool. Nothing's coming up. Let this sit for a second. Go ahead and get started now. I will, after this card, show y'all some of what I got going on right now. Got another card in the humidor that I'm currently working on getting out. It's pretty gnarly, little crease. Now, mind you, if this wasn't a vintage card, I probably wouldn't have even attempted to do this. Just doesn't make sense to try it in its current state. But because it is a vintage card, there will definitely be someone out there who wants this card, even in the state it's in. So, just want to get it to look as good as I can. I'm going to spend just a little bit more time on redoing this hollow. There was a lot of just random surface scratches, so I want to make sure that those are taken care of. Yeah, the stuff's starting to hit a liquid stage. Yeah, it's dry applicator time. Cool. I wish y'all could see it from my side. I don't know, maybe it translates into the camera. But every time I make a new pass, more and more of this hollow pattern just starts to show up. I can see more of the stars. Come on now. I need to get my clockwise as good as my counterclockwise. Alright. We are done with that. Let's go ahead and get this side. Oh, that looks way better. Alright. Gosh, that's so good. Alright. I'll go ahead and do one more cleaning pass on this side. Really make sure everything's good and clean. Turn it over on the back and do a little bit of cleaning on that back side again. That is tons better. Can't wait to take these before and or these after photos. Be able to show you guys. Okay. A little more cleaning. Alright. It's not perfectly removed, but it is tons better. As far as this side goes, you can still kind of see some of the scratches. It's not perfect, but again, wasn't expecting these to be perfect. I was looking for reduction. Improvement is better. That's all I was looking for. So let's get this one sleeved back up. Well, I got 2 more cards to work on for next live. Yeah, we're hitting the end of it. Try to only be on for an hour of y'all's time. Okay. Put that one there. Zoom out. Alright. So, clean up some of this stuff. Unused things go over here. Alright. So, today we did Scyther and the Nido Queen. Remember, I don't know if y'all heard this story yet or not, but this did come out of an old binder. And I mean like old binder. I'll show you. It was an old 3-ring. This guy right here. And it was the old D3, so like, or it wasn't even a D, it was just a 3-ring. So it was all sorts of crimped, and it was the old school plastic sleeves that just let everything slide. And then on top of all of that, these cards were stacked. As little as 3, as many as 6 per sleeve. So it was a 3x3, and then there'd be like a stack of cards in there. So I wasn't holding my breath on being able to fully revive these guys, but the state that they're in, so much better than they were before. So next week I'll definitely be coming back to these guys. These guys are the 2 big ones from the grass set that or from the grass types that I'm excited to work with. Yeah, we've got the Vileplume and the Venusaur. The Venusaur is an edge fix, and the Vileplume is a really heavy spot. And yeah, get through those. Like I said, I would show y'all what I got going on in the humidor this week. So in here, zoom into it real quick. Yeah, got a Hitmonlee in there, and this is the nasty spot I was telling you about. That right there, that guy has been a pain. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's a bit chewed up. Been slowly working on it. There was a huge dent right here. Got that out. First round of press. Slowly getting that guy out. But yeah. So close the humidor back up. Oh yeah, I don't think I had modded this last time. Got this fully embedded. It's resined in on the backside, so it's airtight and it's not going anywhere. Like, couldn't get this thing out if I tried. So, yeah. But other than that, I believe that's everything that we got going on. Again, I'm Reggie, and this has just been another regular card cleaning. Thank you for joining in. Hope to see you again next week, and you have a good week. God bless.